קירי טוד, מכירה את השם הזה?
נשמע לי מוכר.
כמה היה בפרי סטייל? אני לא יודע.
Like any sport you can imagine, I've done it. Like I've done horseback riding, karate, gymnastics, tennis, swimming. Like ask me, and I've done them all. And windsurfing was also one of them. Like my parents just wanted my brother and I to try all the sports and see what we liked the most. And the first time I went windsurfing, I actually went with my brother. He was 12, I was 9, but I couldn't lift the sail because it was too heavy for me. But my brother is very talented also. So he did a tack on the first try. He did a jibe on the first try. So he was making circles around me. And I didn't like it. So I kept on going with gymnastics and swimming and tennis, I think. So then 1 year later, there was an event in Aruba, which is called the Aruba High Winds. And at the time, it was it still is one of the biggest in the Caribbean and is very international. Like people from all over the world come to this event. And I went to support my brother there. And yeah, that was the first time I experienced like the windsurfing vibe. Like the people were so happy when they came off the water. They had so many stories to tell about the races, and they were all friends, even though they were competing against each other. So then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a try again. And then my mom entered me in an event in Bonaire, which is the neighboring island. And as a group of kids, like 20 kids, we went to this island as a team, and that's where we competed, all together. And I think that was the first time I experienced the windsurfing lifestyle, which is like traveling somewhere, competing there, and making memories and hearing stories from other people like this. Yeah, it's where I also met the Bonairean windsurfers, and at the time, like Tati, Ton, Kikiri, at the time they were up and coming in the freestyling world, and they have like this spark for windsurfing that I think they also that I also caught because of them. So since 2001, I've been completely hooked to windsurfing, just for the whole experience of it. Like the sport is really fun, but also everything that comes with it is amazing. So since then, it's been 20 years now of windsurfing and traveling. So yeah.
Wow, it's quite a lot of so many years, huh?
Yeah.
So what can you tell us like a list of your best achievements in the professional windsurfing?
So I started competing quite early. Like the first World Cup I did, I was 12 years old actually, and again that's because it was in Bonaire. So I finished 5th place there, and then 2 years later, Starboard paid me a ticket to go to Canary Islands. So when I was 14, I finished 3rd in a World Cup, and then when I was 15, I won my first World Cup. So since then, I think I became vice world champion 2 times, and then since 2008, I've won the freestyle title every year. So I've 12 freestyle titles, and I slowly moved into the different disciplines. So I moved to slalom. I've won 4 slalom world titles, and since last year I also have 1 wave title. So in the end, that's what I like about windsurfing, that it's so diverse and that you can always, there's always a next challenge to go to, and it's never ending the fun of the sport.
What from your achievements, which one you think are you consider to be the best one, or is the best for you? I mean, the wave, the freestyle, the slalom.
So like if I look at everything in general, my biggest achievement now is actually that I finished my studies in Holland. Like windsurfing is there, but I think studies were like priority. So I finished my studies in 2014 in Holland. I lived there for 3 years. So I did science and innovation management. And that's when after that, I really started focusing on traveling and windsurfing. So after my studies, I think the wave title is really, really special because I'm from an island where there's no waves. It's flat water here. So it was like the biggest challenge because it meant I'd have to travel more, overcome my fears of waves actually, because I didn't really see big waves in my life, So that's also a challenge I had to overcome. And last year, actually, I won the event at the Aloha Classic, and the waves are big there, So for a small island girl, I think that's maybe my biggest achievement right now, yeah.
All right, very interesting. And how is the competition now with the coronavirus pandemic? Do you compete now? Can you travel, or there's no competitions?
PWA competitions are non-existent. We didn't have anything this year. Understandable, but then the only event I did was a exhibition event at Silva Plana in Gadingwin. And yeah, other than that, I didn't do any events. So it's the first time actually in 14 years I had like my own schedule of where I wanted to travel to. So I went to Europe in end of July. I went to Greece, flew to Switzerland, and then I did a road trip and ended up in Sardinia in Italy. So it's also nice that I could do my own thing a little bit, refreshing at least. Oops, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What are the demands from a professional windsurfer? Like the things you need to do and the things you have to give up? And as a follow-up questions, is there a difference between the women and the men in those demands?
So the demands of windsurfing, so I think first of all, what everyone says, if you do something you love, you don't work a day in your life, right? And yeah. I think for many of us as windsurfers, that is what we're doing. Like it is a passion, and I'm happy I get to call this my job. Having said that, there are a lot of things that you need to organize because compared to other professional sports, I don't think we earn as much money. So, which means that you need to organize everything yourself, like all the travels, carrying the bags, organizing accommodation, transportation. So it's a lot of logistic things that come together. And as a professional windsurfer, you end up actually spending a lot of time behind the computer also. So that is one part that you need to keep in mind if as a professional windsurfer. For me, that the one thing that I feel like I give up a bit is that I don't get to see my family and friends as much. So that is one thing that sometimes I struggle with. And Aruba is far, you know, like I need to think twice if I want to pay a ticket from Europe back to Aruba every time. So I end up spending a lot of time in Europe. But I go home whenever I can, which I realize is very important. As soon as I come home, I can relax and then go back on the road, even if it's 3 or 4 days. But what does happen is like when I am on tour, the people on tour are my family. So like I spend a lot of time with Arnon actually. All the girls that I need to compete with, these are all basically my family on tour because you see them every time at the different contests. So that's a very, very nice aspect of it. And yeah, I think that's it. You need to be a very flexible person because there's sometimes like things are thrown at you and you need to like figure out how to make it work. So then the difference.
You still have fun out of it, and then from the competitions, from the windsurfing, and from the community, the small community.
Yeah. So now that I didn't have any competitions this year, I realized how much I love it. You know, like the tour is my favorite thing in the world. The people on the tour are my favorite people in the world because we're all like like-minded, and everything that happens on tour is such a big adventure. Like at the end of the year, if I think of everything that happened, is not normal, you know, and that's because of all the traveling and that we're like going to strange places all together. Like, yeah, it's a experience of a lifetime, you know. So yes, I really, really love it. I was competing a lot at some point and I was going from one contest to the next. So there was a part where I felt like a bit tired. But my core feeling is that I love competing because I am very competitive and it pushes me to do better also. So if I haven't windsurfed for like 2 weeks and I step on my board again, like the best feeling is just planing.
Really?
And
you still have it?
Yeah, I can do I don't care that I can do like all the moves and freestyle, you know, the best feeling in windsurfing is putting your feet in the straps and just planing on the water. You know, and I can do this. I will be able to do this when I'm 90 still. So I think windsurfing, I will keep on doing it for a long, long time.
Well, this is a very important thing that you just shared with us. You know, because people always, like to, put special moves, extreme moves. But the basic thing about windsurfing is just go on planing, huh?
Yeah, just the feeling of that speed. That is the moment everyone gets hooked to windsurfing, I think. And that is the main feeling that keeps you coming back, I guess. Yeah.
And do you find it harder for women to join the world trip, the professional world trip, the PWA, or is it about the same for the women and the men?
So generally, let's say professionally, and I think in many aspects in life, men are earning more than women, I think. So yes, then it's a bit, and already in a sport where it is quite small, and actually the men are already struggling quite a bit, or they have to hustle. Women are earning less. So yes, a lot of women are having issues to be on tour and stay on tour. So you have my skills here on the water, and this is not then I think, like, before the professional level, there are already less women that are getting into the sport. Like boys get into it quicker, I think, and maybe women are a bit intimidated. So I think it's just the image of the sport that needs to be. Yeah, I don't know how to explain that exactly. When I started windsurfing, there were quite a few girls. Some girls, but there were a lot of boys, and I was sailing with them a lot. But now, the last 3 years, I've been training with more women, and I feel that my motivation just goes up like by 1,000%. Just to have more girls around me. So I think, I think it's very important to try and push the women in the sport more. And the more women there are, the more it attracts also, I think.
Are there any mothers in tour?
Models on tour?
Mothers, some of the women that are also are mothers at the same time and competing.
So yeah, I think the women that have gotten kids, they had to go off tour for a bit, and some have come back, but it's never for a really long time. So yeah, there are a couple of mothers on tour, but not that they're competing full time. So I think that's also something that we as women are dealing with. Also for me, like if I'm thinking, how long am I going to keep on going? Because let's say I want to have kids, then it would kind of mean for me that is the end of my career, So I think, yeah. There are some mothers on tour, yeah. But in the end, they need to decide for the family and leave the career on the side, I think.
Of course. And how is it like in Aruba, in your home island? The windsurfing in general, is it developing? There are more kids, or is it going down? How is it in the process?
Yeah, so let's say in the 90s, it was a really, really popular destination in the world, and it's still a really, really good windsurfing spot. But yeah, it was huge, but it has been going down over the years, and now there are not many people on the water. We do have a big group of kids, and they're very talented, but they're all doing slalom and also getting into IQ foil now. And yeah, I think so. I haven't spent so much time at home the last 10 years because of studies and traveling and stuff. But I feel like as soon as I settle down here, I would like to push the windsurfing a bit more. We do have some kids, but and thanks to the conditions here that we can train a lot, they also progress a lot. But we can definitely work on the amount of people practicing windsurfing here. You should all come from Isabel to Aruba. It's flat water, it's blue, 30 degrees. You're welcome.
Actually, I think the Israelis going to the Caribbean for windsurfing somehow prefer Bonaire.
No.
Why not? It's a neighboring island. They're also Dutch, aren't they?
Yeah, they are also Dutch. Bonaire is a really, really great island. That's where I fell in love with windsurfing. So yeah, but you can take the boat from Bonaire to Aruba also. It's next door.
But isn't in Aruba they built a line of big hotels that blocking the wind and make it as not as good as it used to be?
Yeah, so that's Fisherman's Huts. That's where I learned to windsurf, and that's really flat water. The wind is offshore, and yes, because of the hotels, it became more gusty. But I sail there all the time. You just go a bit further out and move a bit further to the side, and it's fine. And then other than that, there's 2 or 3 different spots. So I think Aruba is very, very diverse. And let's say compared to Bonaire, it's the wind is stronger here, so that's why I do enjoy sailing here a lot. You just have to make sure to move to the different spots also. So this hotel is a very negative story about here in Aruba, but actually it's not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. We have some questions in the chat.
Yeah, you see the chat, Sarah and Alon. You can.
I'll ask
maybe
one
look.
question, and in the meantime, I can read some
Oh,
more.
yeah.
They ask you how long you have to spend in the water in practice per week.
For training. So if
yeah.
I'm traveling, like now normally I would have flown to Brazil, and in Brazil I sail a lot. Like I'll go 2 hours in the morning and then 2 hours in the afternoon. That is if I'm full-time windsurfing. In Cape Town I have a bit different schedule. There I like go to the gym more. Let's say do a gym session. No, actually I do a gym session and then actually also 2 windsurfing sessions. So yeah, let's say gym 3 times a week for an hour or something. And I try to run also quite a bit. And then windsurfing, in Aruba, I windsurf about 2 or 3 hours. But if I'm traveling a lot, then I sail up to 4 hours per session.
Up to 4 hours.
Yeah, Gran Canaria is a different story. The wind there is insane. You after 2 days of sailing, like it feels like a truck ran over you. It's so windy there.
How big is the sail, or how small is the sail that you use there?
In Gran Canaria?
Yes.
Standard, you sail 3.3 or 3.7.
That's
crazy.
And you know what's hard? After that, you have to compete in a slalom contest on a 7.8.
How do you make these changes? This is very interesting. I mean, professionally, the feeling is very different.
So, you know, the first thing I do when I go to a slalom event, I'm always checking. And then when I see Arnon, I'm like, Arnon, I need help. So Arnon is my main guy for slalom. He always helps me out with all the gear. And I think the most important thing that I've learned from switching between disciplines is that you have to get used to the gear. So when I come from Gran Canaria and I go to Fuerte, I jump on my freestyle gear straight away to get used to it because the fin is small and it slides and it takes 1 or 2 days to get used to. Slalom is not so hard to switch to slalom, actually. To switch between wave and freestyle is hard sometimes. And yeah.
All right. Do you have any
Arnon,
plans?
you're open. Your mic is open, Arnon, if you want to say something.
No, I think she's talking fantastically. I like to hear it. It's nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are spending a lot. We are spending some time together, and it's just like I just want to say that it was always very nice to see her progress, and especially with the Wave World title. She's so talented. I couldn't believe though that she clinched. She took the world title so early and so easy because, you know, the Moreno twins are the undisputed champions, and when you see them in the water, you can just don't, you know, like I don't know if there's someone in Israel, for example, which is better than Daida. I don't know, and I think it was unbelievable to see how Sarah just she's such a good competitor and she's so talented, and she took that title, you know. With the freestyle and the slalom, it was very natural for her, and she did it like hands down. But then, you know, all of a sudden she was the wave world champion as well, and this was amazing for me. So that's all I want to add to this mix.
Are you a friend of them? Not afraid,
What?
a friend of the Moreno twins.
No, I'm not afraid.
I know them. If she's a friend, yeah.
No. You're friendly together. You like them?
Friendly. On the beach, yeah. In the end, I think they are my strongest competitors, and there are some people that maybe you try not to contact so much, actually, because some people take the competition on the water also to land, and yeah. But I respect them very much as windsurfers. They're incredible, and like I've also always looked to their level to get there. So yeah.
Okay, I have a few more questions from the chat. Do you have any plans to go now to try to go to the Olympics with the new foil model?
So I was not super interested because I was very focused on all 3 disciplines that I'm doing already, and I love what I do. And then if you think Olympic discipline, RS6 is the first thing you think, you know. And for me, it was never super excited about it. But now I saw the results at Garda, and all the women that are competing, and I think, yeah, I want to try now. So I started foiling a little bit, and there's an IQ foil set here, so I'm gonna give it a try just to see if I like it. I would like to do 1 or 2 events just for the experience. Like I said, that's why I've done all the different disciplines, just to like learn more and enjoy the sport more. So, and this would be the first. In RS6, I would not have any chance just because of the, you know, you need a certain weight. I think now with foiling, I could actually give it a try. And then, yeah, why not try for the Olympics? You know, it's like a once in a lifetime chance for anyone.
Interesting. This new discipline is like making it closer. The PWA and the Olympic model now becoming to, so it's kind of, maybe we're gonna have some new competitors in the Olympics, and might be all different, huh?
Yeah, this event in Garda was a big mix of PWA slalom riders and then RS6 riders, and I know, you know, I know all the PWA riders, and I know a couple of the RS6 ones just from seeing them, but now I saw them competing together. And my problem is that I cannot see people I know on a race course. I have to be there also. So I do think I'm gonna try now.
I'm coming back again to the more personal stuff. People asking, what makes you come up and try again and again, like new tricks, new moves? Do you ever have fears or afraid big waves or things like that? What makes you come up again?
So yeah, I started freestyling when I was very young. So I think as a kid, there's not many fears. That you're kind of playing on the water, right? So you don't think about things that can go wrong. Only a bit later, when some tricks were getting a bit more difficult, yeah, let's say like a forward loop or a goiter, sometimes you have to really think about if you want to do it, you know? And I think with windsurfing, it's just practice. The more you do something, or the closer you get to trying a move, the more confidence you build. And finally, you will go for the move. And let's say with the forward loop, for example, that has been such a scary thing for me to do for a long time. But then it's also worse. The worst feeling is when you want to do something and you're too scared to do it. And I think after a while, I was just like so tired of feeling that I just like closed my eyes and pulled, you know? And then when I came up, I was fine. Nothing happened. And from there, it's just, you have to just keep on practicing. And what helps a lot is that you know, tell other people what you're working on or how you want to get there. And then they will also be motivating you. In general, the windsurfing world is a very supporting world. Like everyone, for me at least, if I see someone trying something, I will go and give them tips, because it gives so much joy to land something new, you know? So yeah, and then that's freestyling. What was hard for me is the waves, the jumping. I'm still scared of jumping. I will do it, and especially in a competition, I think less when the flag is up, because I want to win, you know. So then I'm gonna go up and try those moves. But I know that in training sometimes I still struggle. But I think that's also part of windsurfing that I like, is overcoming those fears. And again, like for a stalled forward or a push loop, it's always like going up a little higher every time, or it's just like step by step. It's not like from one day to the next that you try something big. You get there incrementally. So yeah, that's how it works.
I have to say it's very interesting what he's saying, because when people watching perfect videos of perfect moves, they don't think that the windsurfer, you, for example, is afraid or having any fears or blocks on the way. Just think you just, go for it. And I mean, what you said about forward loop, we can say about any kind of move. I think we try in windsurfing, that you have something that block you of trying it until you just go for it.
Yeah, but also, think about it. I think the more you see yourself doing the move and see yourself doing it correctly, the more you tell yourself or imagine that, the more confidence it gives you, you know? So I think that's very important. So yeah, looking at perfect moves is a very good thing, because that shows you how you should do it the best way. But yes, every professional windsurfer, anyone that can do double forwards right now, has gone through a lot of stages to get there. And maybe you don't see that, but I'm the first one to tell anyone that I'm scared of jumping and I'm scared of big waves. I still am. But it is a challenge that I want to overcome. I want to sail in bigger waves. I want to jump higher because the adrenaline rush you get after is like nothing else.
Yeah, this is so true, Sarah. Alon, 1 second. Lee Kurzitz is here with us and she has to leave. So it's a good chance to say, Lee, thank you so much for being here with us. Lee, can you say
Sarah,
something?
you're unbelievable. Okay. So nice to hear you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lee. Nice to see you again.
Hope to see you somewhere in the world and to catch some waves.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Ciao.
We are.
Aloha, bye, Lee.
Ciao.
We just we have 2 women world champions. So this is exciting, huh?
Yeah.
We have a few more questions. Maybe I can't read all of the questions, but back to windsurfing. What is your favorite spot except Aruba around the world you're traveling?
There are so many places I like. So one place that I always tell people that I really love is Turkey. Alaçatı is an incredible place. The spot is really fun. It's an easy spot. But what I like when I go to different windsurfing spots is the whole atmosphere, the people that are there, the food, the town. And I think Alaçatı has like the whole package. I was just in Greece right now. Naxos is incredible. The spot, I was really surprised. It has 3 different spots and it takes you 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go to the big pool, 1 minute to go to the waves upwind, and then there's a small pool, So Naxos is also very diverse. Cape Town is amazing for the culture and all the different spots. Australia is a total adventure because you have to go in the van and the waves are top of the line. Maui is scary, but it's a really, really beautiful place and the waves are super great. So I cannot name one place. Like everything has something special.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Somebody asking how many equipment and body parts did you break around your try to get to push the limits?
Yeah, so I'm knocking on wood. I've never broken any part in my body. I've never been hurt. I only overextended my back one time in an event in racing in New Caledonia because I catapulted and I let go of the boom, but I was still hooked in, so my legs went over my head. But that is the only injury I've had, so I think I'm very, very lucky with that. Equipment, I don't break gear very often, very, very little. Now, since I started wave a bit more with back loops and stuff, the only time my gear gets broken actually is during traveling because of the airlines. But in my career, everything has gone like really good. Yeah.
What do you think about? I ask you in Aruba, but in general about women windsurfing. We try to promote and push it a lot in Israel, but we don't have too many women windsurfers.
In Israel?
Yeah. What do you see around the world, and what do you think can be done about that?
So the one thing that I've really seen right now that has been exploding is in the Canary Islands. There is a group of 10 to 14-year-old girls that are completely pushing the limits there. So I think what happened there is that they have the Moreno twins to look up to, first of all. Second of all, they have the event that happens there every year. So these kids, they get to sail with the professionals once a year. Like their eyes are open to what are possible in windsurfing. And I think recently there was a women's or girls camp where all these girls also joined. So I think as soon as all these girls start sailing together, you also push each other more. Because this is what happens with the men. There's so many men sailing on the water and they're competing with each other and pushing their level like that. With women, it's a bit harder because there's less. And the same happened for me, like because the PWA was here in Bonaire, is the first time I saw professionals. And I started looking up to these riders. I was like, wow, it's the first time I saw what is possible with windsurfing. So I think for girls in general, it's good to I don't know, maybe invite me to Israel. I will come over. And
You are.
yeah, you know, like have some
Just finished
invite
with
the
this
women to come over
pandemic.
there and sail with the girls.
Great idea.
Yeah, I think is to start it up is just to organize events that are for girls, so that they feel free to join. You know, that it's for women and that they're not like intimidated to try, for women and girls. And yeah, I hope that makes sense.
It is, and you are invited. Do you have any plans after professional windsurfing? Personal plans, I mean.
No, I'm gonna keep on windsurfing forever. No,
keep on windsurfing, huh?
Yeah, no, I finished my studies in Holland, so if I do want to do something else, I guess I could do something with that. But after traveling for such a long time, I do not see myself in an office. So it's hard. Like I haven't thought about it 100. I'm thinking about it, but I haven't figured out what I want to do because it's such a free lifestyle, you know. So anything less than what I'm doing now would be a bit hard to adapt to. So I'm still trying to figure out.
This makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you take parts in developing equipment and things like that? Sales?
So there's different team riders, and I think some team riders are paid to compete, and some team riders are paid to do the development. I don't do a lot of development, but when I am at a photo shoot or in a place where there is a prototype or something, I do give it a try, but it's not like my job for the year. But I give my opinion on the gear, yeah.
Do you have mental difficulties from time to time? Like, do you have a break? Do you have to deal with like mental crisis?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I don't know if it's a lot, but like once a year at least, there's always a time like, why am I doing this? But this is usually when I'm in Europe, and so then I already did a lot of competitions and I haven't been home in almost 6 months. So I think what happens is that I get very homesick. I'm living out of my suitcase, you know, I don't have one fixed place to stay. And this is one thing that affects me quite a bit. So there's also one point in the year that I'm just like really tired, but that's usually towards the end of the season. So it takes a bit of, and it's in Europe. I'm from the Caribbean. If I don't get the sunshine, if I don't get the warmth, I shut down completely, you know? So that's where I struggle a little bit. But then as soon as the season is over and I come back home around November, I can recharge again till January. And yeah, then it's fine. It's just when I'm away from home for a long time. Yeah.
Do you have other interests other than windsurfing? Like you did a lot of sports before when you were a kid.
So many, yeah. I think my favorite sport is tennis. It's like on the same level for windsurfing. I play a lot of tennis. I'm not great, but I love playing it. I have done swimming for a very long time as a kid until I was 17. I was in the national team, so I still really love swimming. Then yeah, I do windsurfing professionally, but there are sometimes that I need a break from it. So I do enjoy kiting a lot also, because it's still going to the ocean, but it's a little bit different. And then after kiting, I'm more motivated to windsurf again. I like reading. I like planting in the yard. I don't know, plenty of things.
Nice.
Yeah, like languages a lot also. I just put Hebrew down on my list to learn.
Oh, so this is hard.
I think so, but it's a good challenge, no?
Yeah, it's a challenge.
I did French in the summer. I'm doing Portuguese now. And then maybe, maybe put Hebrew on the list.
What is your original language? Dutch?
So in Aruba, we grew up speaking 3 languages. My dad is Dutch. My mom is from Aruba. So the official language is Dutch, but the local language is Papiamento. And that is a mix of Portuguese and Spanish. And then because we have a lot of tourists from the US, everyone speaks English. So you grow up with 3 languages. And then in school, you get Spanish and French also.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm ready for this tennis tournament, by the way, whoever is challenging me.
Yeah. We have some semi-professional tennis
We have
players.
some semi-professional guys here. They will
Ready.
be happy to sail with you and then play tennis. Oh, you're ready?
Are
Great.
you ready? Yeah. We have one of our leaders. He started windsurfing after he was sent to teach tennis in Eilat in the Red Sea, and that's how he learned windsurfing.
Wow.
Playing
See,
tennis in
good
Club Med.
Nice.
Let's see if we have more questions. If you see any question that I missed. Somebody's saying the big names, all the big names become older. Not you.
I thought it wouldn't happen, but here I am. I'm almost 30. Been doing it for 15 years almost.
One question about competing the world tour. If someone here in Israel would like to go and try his skills, and what should he do to get to this special team? How do you get there? What do you have to do mentally and physically?
From Israel. Yeah, I think, so Aruba is also a very, very small place. So it's actually not super likely that you will get to that point for these islands. But what worked for us is that, for me, again, is that the PWA came to the Caribbean. So that kind of gave me the opportunity to like interact with the people from the tour and the professionals. And something like Tomer has been doing, he's been to Gran Canaria. How many months were you there last year? Like 3 months or something? The whole summer. Yeah, exactly. 4 months. I feel like maybe going to such a place where you're gonna meet like these windsurfers and get into the world. That's where you get contacts, and then slowly you can like move into becoming a professional, I guess. And because there's no better training than being on the water with the best in the world. So let's say Gran Canaria for wave sailing in July, it's a huge show, so it's super motivational. It's a big event. So there's just the likelihood of meeting people that will help you on the way is higher. So just try to, I guess, surround yourself with those people. It will cost you money in the beginning, but like getting yourself maybe to one of those events or a place where you have.
So one of the things you said is competing. Try to compete more competition. So maybe Arnon is hearing us, and they will rearrange the great competition, the Storm Rider again. So guys can really try and see how it is to compete. It's so different between competing and just come out and sailing. It's a completely different style and way of thinking, right?
Yes. I think competing is just very important.
Yeah.
You said that as a kid.
If you want to have fun, it's fine. But if you want to like go further in that direction, then yes. Sorry, Alon?
Yeah. Sorry. You said that as a kid you practiced many kinds of sports. Do you think that it helped you to become a better windsurfer? That you did other sports that are not windsurfing and not in the water?
Yes.
I'm asking it because I think in Israel, when they like you started the kid to compete in any kind of sports, they're leading you to go this way, and this is the only way. Not encourage you to try other things, other stuff that are not really in that sport. I think it should be more versatile.
Yeah, I think I'm very happy I had the opportunity to do so many different sports. First of all, it's just a lot of fun to try new things. And I think as a kid, it just helps you to develop yourself in all directions, like with swimming is like your endurance goes up. I did running also, track and field. did karate and stuff like that, where you're always doing push-ups and sit-ups. And I think the more sports you do, the more you develop yourself. And I feel like windsurfing also is a very diverse sport. You need, like, it's a whole body thing, and you always need to like adapt to the situation. So I think now the most important thing for me is that I did a lot of swimming, so I'm very comfortable in the ocean. I think that's one important thing. But also now that windsurfing is not my only sport, if I'm tired or if I'm bored, I will go play some tennis. I can grab my kite. I can go surfing. Like, you can throw me in any situation and I will enjoy myself. And that's why I also do all the different disciplines in windsurfing, because if it's not windy, I can grab my foil, grab my big sail. If it's really windy, I grab my freestyle gear. If it's wavy, I can go wave sailing. So, I just want to like have fun all the time.
Yeah. Caribbean temperament, huh?
Yeah.
When the next PWS season will start, what is your goals? What do you plan to achieve?
World domination. No, I'm kidding.
It's recorded,
No, I am so excited to compete. I cannot wait. I'm glad. I'm actually really grateful for this year, because in the end, I'm doing okay, and I hope all the other, like you guys also, and like there are less fortunate people out there, and I'm just taking it as a break, which maybe was a bit needed also. So then for next year, like I'm on fire. Like, I cannot wait. Yeah. So I don't have any specific goals. I'm just excited. I'm just waiting to see what events are going to happen, and when they happen, then I'm there.
Do you have any image or thinking about the future of windsurfing? Like, now we have the foil, of course, and the new wing foil.
Yeah.
And new stuff almost every year. How do you see it?
Sorry, what was the last thing you said? You started.
How do you see the future of windsurfing with all these new developments?
So it's not, I think it's not only windsurfing in general. Like, for example, the wing foiling or foiling and then winging. These are all stuff that adds to the fun on being on the water. Like, they're all extensions of windsurfing, So I think this winging is good for people to get in contact with holding on to a wing and working with wind and stuff. Like, in the end, it would promote people to windsurf also. And I think the IQ is super important, because for the first time, I think this is one discipline that will appeal to so many people. So I think that is actually going to get a lot of people on the water. And then as soon as they're foiling and one day it's too windy, then maybe they will grab a smaller sail and grab a freestyle board, or they travel somewhere where there's wavy and they want to give that a try. So it's just, getting people in touch with the sport. I think winging is doing that. IQ foiling is doing that. And,
there's a new question. If you have to choose only one board, what do you preference? Single, trotter, quad, twins, or foil?
Yeah, I have thought about this question. So for me, like, if I'm freestyling, I feel like I'm freestyle forever. If I'm wave sailing, I feel like I can only wave sail the rest of my life. And then if I'm sailing slalom, that's all I want to do. So then what I realized is I need a wave board. I think 80-liter wave board, thruster, and a freestyle sail. Because then I can do all the ducking moves still, and a wave board is very fast and small, so I can still do all the spinny stuff. But then I can also always carve in a wave, because wave riding with a freestyle board is impossible, and the feeling of a wave board is perfect. And you go pretty fast. So a wave board and a freestyle sail, I think that's the best. Thruster. I've been sailing thrusters.
You don't try quads?
I started with quads, but right now I'm more into thrusters.
Why?
For my feeling,
difficult question, huh?
So I recently sailed a quad again, and I felt with the quad it has less grip. The turns are tighter, but I want to push all the water out of the ocean, and with the thruster you can really put the rails in and really push really hard. So I think that's my favorite thing. That's why I like thrusters. And then the quads are a bit more slidey and freestyly, which is also fun, but yeah. Should I answer the Aruba East Coast question?
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, so for kiting, it's really good on that side. There's a spot that's called Boca Grande, which means big mouth. And if you compare that to Bonaire, it's very similar because it's onshore wind. And that's the side where everyone goes surfing or kiting. So it's a really good kite spot over there. Windsurfing is a bit difficult because it's too onshore. And a lot of times it's a little bit too light. So that's why I windsurf on the other side of the island. Yeah.
Of course.
South.
Do you have any films, videos, short videos that you can share right now, or you don't have something? People asking for videos, but I think we can watch the videos later. Now we have you.
Now we have you.
So the last video I put out together with Uda, that one is in Aruba, and I got surprised because it's the first time in a long time that I spent so many months at home, and I did everything on the island. We went wave sailing, freestyling, foiling. So if you want, you can watch that video.
Okay.
Wait, where are you? Here. Where is
And
you can put it in there.
I came up with a new question. Do you have to take part of the, like, say, the industry, the windsurfing industry, in making videos or public relations or equipment promotion?
Yeah, so it's becoming, they are demanding it more and more. Like, I don't have that specifically in my contract, but many riders do. So social media is very important because in the end you need to promote the brand. So competitions are very, very important, but the media is almost getting more important, you know? So there are many riders, like for me, for example, I'm competing, and that's good enough, but there are also other riders that they get sponsored for putting out videos, for putting, how do you say that, product reviews and stuff like that. So let's say you're not a professional windsurfer, like you can also get very far just by putting out media out there. Like a very important rider I think from Israel is Yarden Meir.
Yeah.
He actually has an interview now on Continent 7, and it's super interesting to read about because also he is one of my favorite sailors and one of the most unique sailors out there. There's nobody that sails like him, you know, and he has such a unique style. And he always puts out, and when he puts out a video, it's always amazing, you know? So he is promoting his sponsors really, really well that way also. He's not necessarily competing, but he's very, very well known. Like, watch his videos, all the comments you see below is, So
He's
riders like that
us.
are very important. And he's a really cool guy also, so.
Is he here on the meeting? Yarden, is he here?
Yarden is here.
Is he?
I will look for him. Let's see.
Maybe
I don't think
maybe
I
just heard you. Let's see.
Sarah, do you think we can bring windsurfers to Israel? What is the best way to explain windsurfers that it's a great place to be? Have you ever been here?
So no, I've never been, and I haven't had the time because of like other trips and stuff, but just because of Arnon stories, for example, like I really, really want to go. And I think what would help also is like, just actually having videos out also from the spots. Because let's say Bonaire is a super famous spot because this Kuma movie guy is always putting the videos on YouTube, right? So people always see the spot. I think promoting the spot through videos, you'll attract people to come there also. And let's say you invite someone to come there. Again, please invite me. You have people from outside that are saying that the spot is great. It will attract more people also. Because I want to come. It's just for some places I would need a bit more, like sometimes you need to get like your ticket paid or something like that to actually go for some riders, but for me it has been more an issue of time. Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
That's
I think you have at
So-
least around 100 new fans in Israel. So if you choose to come, you have no worries about what to do and where to stay and where to go.
yeah.
You just need to get no logistic around visiting in Israel.
Yeah.
And winter time is the best time to be here. Soon, January is
Right?
it's great. Wave riding conditions, stormy conditions, but you will enjoy it for sure.
Again, for example, like so I only know of Eilat because of Yardi. He's
Mhm.
promoting the spot really, really good, you know.
Yeah.
And I think many people have gone there because of that. So yeah, that stuff works, videos and social media and stuff.
Okay. And you find is it comfortable for you to deal with the social media and all the sharing videos and all that, or you prefer to just be in the water more?
Yeah, if it's related to the sport, yes. Like I don't mind promoting the windsurfing. Like I don't like to share too many personal things because yeah, that's not what I'm promoting. Like I want to promote windsurfing more. So I feel like I'm good and bad at it because there's also other people that are really good at promoting. Yeah, that are a bit more personal on there, and maybe that attracts more people. But for me, I just want to promote windsurfing.
Windsurfing lifestyle?
Yeah, I think so. I could do better at it, I think. I post a lot of movies. Yeah.
I think what
So,
you
Alon,
did
I
now
suggest
is the best.
okay. I suggest if someone want to ask question, Sarah, in his voice, it's possible. We have a few more minutes to this meeting. So you guys can raise your hand and I will open your mic.
If somebody wants to ask questions in his voice, because I think I'm out of questions, and he did very good.
So we have homework to do. Sarah gave us homework. We have to make more videos and movies of our great places of windsurfing. And hopefully we will see you here soon, Sarah.
Yeah, that would be amazing. It'd be great. Let's hope all the borders open. I think that's the biggest problem at the moment, but as soon as things are fine again,
yeah,
I'm ready to travel.
Okay. Sarah Quita of Frinja. Of Frinja. Yeah, I think you're the best. Thank you very much for your time and sharing with us. It was very interesting, very friendly. As I said, I think you have around a new 100 fans here in Israel. Thanks for all the sharing. I think it's helped a lot for this for our windsurfing community. Wish you all the best and good luck in the PWA. Hopefully.
One question. Tal would like to ask a question. Tal, you can ask your question. Tal Basik. One. Okay. Tal, can you hear me? I'm sorry. Okay. It's not working for some reason. Let's try with Yael. Yael is one of our instructors. Yael, can you hear us, Yael?
Yes.
Yael and Shelly would like to say.
I just wanted to say that you're great. And I saw some of your videos, and I think you're a big inspiration for women and for kids, for young girls. And what I saw here, it's like you look on the videos, very happy and optimistic and just going for it. So thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Shelly, you can also
or not. Hey.
Hi, you recognize my background?
Yeah, Bonaire looked really nice.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't been to Aruba, but we were in Bonaire in February, and I'm just so in love with the place. And I also just wanted to say thank you so much. You really, really are a huge inspiration. It's really great to hear you. You're really magical, and we're waiting for you to come to. We're waiting for you to come to Israel to keep on inspiring all the women here.
I'm looking forward. I'm really excited now to come, actually.
Right.
Thanks so much.
Or we come to Aruba.
You're very welcome to come. Let me know.
Thank you.
Okay. I think that's it. So, Sarah Quita, thanks again. It was really, really nice of you. And I think if you look at the faces, you see everyone very happy and pleased. So thanks again.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure. And yeah, again, for me, this is really cool because like I'm more excited now also to actually come to Israel, and it's cool to meet people that are also passionate about windsurfing, and it's a part of the world that I haven't really been to. So yeah, definitely putting that on the list to come soon.
We have here our national coach, Gur Steinberg, who says also many thanks on the chat. Gur, so happy to have you here. And we can also open your mic if you want to say something to Sarah. We miss you. And Sarah, it was a great honor to have you here. Our great community is very active. We sail almost every day here.
Nice.
Freestyle, wave, slalom, whatever. So hopefully we will meet soon.
All right.
I'm really looking forward.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
So thank you so much. Good evening. Bye-bye.
אוקיי. מורה, נראה לי אפשר לפתוח את המיקרופונים.
אוקיי.
שאנשים יוכלו לדבר.
מיקרופונים
היה
פתוחים.
לנו, מי שרוצה לדבר יכול לפתוח את המיקרופון שלו. היה לנו נראה לי ערב מעניין מאוד. אווירת CH צפייה, הגענו ל100 ומשהו צופים במקסימום, גם עכשיו נשארנו עם 70, אבל...
הגענו ל106 משתתפים, שזה באמת מראה איזה כוח נשי.
כל הכבוד, אלופים.
אני חושב שבאמת קיבלנו פה הופעה, איזה טמפרמנט, איזה...
מה זה הרעש הזה ברקע?
מדוידי, מאיפה הרעש הזה?
לא יודע, אני שואל אותך. מה זה הרעש הזה?
מישהו רואה טלוויזיה.
מישהו רואה טלוויזיה, שיכבד את הטלוויזיה.
זהו, מצאתי אותו.
זהו, אני חושב שהיה פה...
תארגנו את הספונסרים שלה, שזה סטארבורד וניל פרייד, שישימו כמה שקלים ויביאו אותה לארץ.
נדאג לזה, אתה יודע.
אני אדאג לצד של ניל פרייד, אתם תדאגו לצד של סטארבורד.
לא צריך לארגן את סטארבורד ולא את ניל פרייד, היא תגיע, היא כבר אמרה שהיא תבוא, אנחנו מדברים על זה כבר הרבה זמן, רק הקורונה תקעה את זה קצת, הכל יהיה בסדר, הבאנו אותה לפה, היא גם תבוא לארץ, הכל יהיה טוב.
אלוף, ארני, כל הכבוד, באמת,
תבוא, נראה לי...
בוא גם אתה לארץ, ארנון.
אני מנסה, לא נותנים לי.
זה חשוב.
מנסים.
נראה לי, אם היא באה לישראל, נותנים לה פה סבב של אירוח, היא לא תוכל לצאת מפה חצי שנה, עד שהיא תעבור את כל ההזמנות שהיא תקבל.
באמת אחת הטיפוסיות הכי מדהימות שיש, היא גם, אגב, להבדיל מהרבה אנשים בסבב, שמתם לב, היא מלומדת, היא לא אמרה את זה, אבל היא דוברת איזה 5-6 שפות, שהיא אמרה שהיא רוצה ללמוד עברית, היא תעשה את זה, כלומר, היא באמת משהו מיוחד מאוד הבחורה הזאת, וכל המשפחה, האמא, היא נשואה לבחור הולנדי ענק לבן, והאמא היא שחורה, וזה משהו, הם דחפו אותה חבל על הזמן מההתחלה, הם היו נוסעים איתה מאז שהיא ילדה קטנה לכל התחרויות, ובאמת משפחה מדהימה, וכולם כישרונים. האח, אגב, גולש פריסטייל מטורף, מדהים. זהו, באמת מאוד מאוד מיוחדת.
כן, בהחלט מיוחדת, ראינו את זה.
אדיר, ארנון, באמת החברות ביניכם מדהימה גם, איזה פתיחות, וכמה היא שמחה לראות אותך בהתחלה של המפגש הזאת, לפני שכולם התחברו. זהו, אנחנו רוצים עוד כאלה, ארנון. יש לך עוד חברים כאלה?
שאלו את דודו לוי, מה הוא מסתובב
לוי.
בעולם, הוא לא נפגש איתה בסבבים של הפרי סטייל?
לא רציתי לשאול
אני
אותה.
איתה כל הזמן, היא גם אמרה, אני נמצא איתה הרבה, היא גם עושה, בעיקר שהיא עשתה סללום, היא גם בקבוצה שלי בניל פרייד, אז אנחנו, יוצא לנו לפגש המון, וגם לגור גרנו ביחד בהוואי תקופה, אצל בת אל, קטעים גדולים איתה, זה בן אדם שכיף להתחבר איתו. אגב, היא מתחברת לכולם, היא ממש בגובה העיניים, כמו שראיתם, אין לה שום אגו ושום קטע כזה של תפיסת תחת או משהו כזה, היא ממש בגובה העיניים, וזה היופי אצלה. מתחברת עם כולם, תמיד שמחה, תמיד אנרגיות חיוביות. זהו, מטרה להביא אותה לארץ, יאללה, קדימה.
יאללה, זה סגור כבר.
אני גלשתי בארובה לפני שהיא נולדה, נראה לי. 60 ומשהו. 63.
היא אמרה
יעל, את
שכמעט בת 30, לא?
את הכי תותחית, יעל. את גלשת גם באלוהה קלאסיק, נכון, יעל?
באלוהה קלאסיק נכנסתי, אבל בסוף לא גלשתי. היה יום ענק מדי, אז ויתרתי. אבל גם היה חוויה להתאמן.
תותחית את, יעל.
תודה.
כמה נשים היו לנו במפגש הזה? מורן, שמת לב?
היה קשה לספור, אבל אני חושב בין 10 ל-20, שזה הכי הרבה שהיה לנו, באמת. אני חושב שראיתי...
אני רק עכשיו מסתכל על הרשימה.
בטוח מעל 10. אז זה מדהים. צריך לעשות פה באמת איזה אירוע עם שרה, להביא גולשים וגולשות מכל הארץ, זה יכול להיות מאוד מאוד מעניין, לדעתי. בסדר, ארנון, קודם כל תיכנס אתה לארץ.
שלי 4 פעמים אלופת עולם, היא ישבה שם, בשקט.
בשקט, היא לא רצה להגיד כלום, בכוח הכרחתי אותה שתגיד שלום לפחות.
כן.
אלופה.
טוב, מישהו רוצה לספר לו על הגלישה שהיה לו ביום שישי?
כן, גילי רצה לספר איך היה בנירוונה. גילי, אתה עדיין פה?
גילי, תן.
רק אגיד לכם שהיום היה בכנרת שעתיים של פויל, 15 קשר מדהים.
איפה היית?
מגנוסה למשאבות.
מגנוסה.
גם ביום שלישי.
אנחנו כבר מסתכלים קדימה לבת גלים השבוע.
גם ביום שלישי. יאללה, גילי, מה ראית ביום שישי?
אני לא ראיתי כלום, אנחנו ירדנו גלים ענקיים בנירוונה בלי רוח, אבל לקרוא מה שטפירו כתב על החוויה שלו, זה היה כיף לקרוא.
כן, נווה ים היה מטורף.
למה לא נסעת, גילי?
הייתי עם הבן שלי, הוא רוצה קרוב לבית.
אני חושב שהיתרון של נווה ים היה שהגולפי גלים פשוט לא הגיעו כל כך רחוק לשבירת ריף, מה שהבנתי שכן קרה בנירוונה, כל הגולפים השתלטו על כל השבירות, ובנווה ים השבירה החיצונית הייתה מאוד מאוד מסודרת, גל נקי וגולש גלים אחד, גם לא כל הזמן, באיזשהו שלב גם הוא התפנה.
לא, בנירוונה אי אפשר היה בכלל להיכנס לשבירה הפנימית, גם לא היה רוח וגם היו עשרות גולשים, גלשנו על השבירה בחוץ, שגם הייתה גבוהה, אבל היה חסר רוח, אין מה לעשות.
משהו על השיחות של הגולשי גלים, מה שכתבת?
כן, אתה אחרי זה עומד בחנייה, אתה שומע את אלי פיניש.
מה, תן דוגמה.
שחררתי את המיקרופונים של כולם, מי שרוצה
רגע,
לפתוח.
מובן, שאמרת בנווה ים על הגולשי גלים, אני גלשתי שם לפני כמה צפוניות, שהיה גם גלים, ודווקא כשאני הייתי שם, הגיעו גולשים לשבירת ריף, הגיעו גולשי גלים.
אז זהו, פשוט הפעם כנראה שהם הצטופפו כולם בשבירת חוף. שבירת הריף הייתה כנראה רחוקה מדי, הם פשוט לא הגיעו. הגיע אחד בקושי, גם הוא לקח פעם באיזה גל והלך. היו גלים גבוהים, היה כנראה קצת מפחיד אפילו. ולנו לגולשי הרוח, תשמע, זה בסך הכל, זה באמת ספוט שצריך גם די ללמוד אותו, כי הריף החיצוני פשוט מרים את הגל ושובר אותו הרבה לפני שאתה בכלל מבין שהוא הולך להישבר.
כן, זה...
אז אחרי איזה גל שניים, אתה רק מבין שאתה צריך לעשות את הבטם טרן הרבה יותר מהיר, ולעלות למעלה עוד לפני שאתה בכלל מדמיין.
רגע, זה צמוד לאי, או שזה יותר דרומה לכיוון
אז זהו, גלשנו ממש טיפה לדרומה מהאי, מהסלע הראשון, בעצם ממש מתחת לסלע, איזה 50-100 מטר מתחת לסלע, זה היה המקום שבו הגל נשבר, חלום, פשוט חלום. ארוך ויפה, היו כמה גלים שאפשרו 2-3 פניות, וכל הכיף שאחר כך אתה פשוט עושה סיבוב, לא חושש לרגע מעוד גל שיבוא יישבר עליך, אין שבירת חוף נוראית שתשבור לך את התורן, פשוט יוצא בסייד אוף, גם הכיוון היה סייד אוף, פתאום לא הבנו איך זה פתאום מסתדר, הכיוון של הגל והחוף כנראה הסתדרו, ככה שהגלישה הייתה סייד אוף שור נקי, נקי, נקי. ומי שכתב פה מחמאה לקפלן, אני מתחבר, כל הכבוד, קפלן הייתה הנחיה פשוט טובה, איזה כיף. האנגלית השוטפת שלך.
לא, היה דו-שיח מדהים ביניכם. היה ממש יפה.
באמת כיף.
אני אגלה לכם, טוב, אני אמרתי גם למורן לפני, שאל אותי על מה אני רוצה לדבר, אמרתי לה, תשמע, סרטים שלה, כל אחד יכול לראות בכל הזדמנות.
נכון.
ולשאול אותה על התחרויות וזה, בוא אני אנסה לשאול אם היא מוכנה לשתף את דברים יותר אישיים, החוויות האישיות שלה. ועשינו שיחה מקדימה ממש לפני שהתחלנו, והיא מאוד שמחה לזה, זה הוריד ממני את החשש פשוט. היא אמרה, יופי, אני לא רוצה לדבר על גלישה, כאילו על הדברים המקצועיים. אני הרבה יותר טובה בעניינים האישיים. אז כן, היא מעבירה את החוויה, יופי,
כן.
תגיד משהו, שאלה פרקטית.
גם אפשר ליהנות רק מפליינינג, אני הבנתי.
זה מדהים, זה בעיניי מדהים, וזה שהיא אומרת...
הגישה מעולה מזה.
שהיא מפחדת, ושהתחושה הכי טובה זה הפלנינג, זה אמירה, אמרתי לה, זה כל כך חשוב.
כן.
וזה יפה שהגולשים המקצועיים יכולים להגיד דבר כזה. זה גדולה.
יאללה, להזמין אותה לכנרת. נראה אם יהיה לה אלרגיה.
רצוי שיהיה אחברת גם, כן.
כן.
מי שאל משהו? גור שטיינברג שאל, לא?
אני אגיד לך, אנחנו אמורים לצאת שבוע הבא לפורטוגל, אליפות אירופה. רק יש יותר מדי שמועות שבשנייה זה יכול להיסגר. אז החבר'ה העלו פלן בי, לנסוע למאוי, שמאוי נפתחה. זה נכון או סתם פנטזים?
אני יכול לספר שאני עוד שבועיים במאוי. באמת מאוי נפתחה בתנאי שאתה מגיע עם בדיקת קורונה שלילית. אבל, ופה אבל הגדול גור, תשים לב, הביטוחים, אין ביטוחים, אני לא יודע איך אתם מסתדרים מבחינת ביטוח, חברות הביטוח הישראליות לא מבטחות ישראלים שטסים לארצות הברית בכלל, ובתוך זה מאוי. קח את זה בחשבון.
נשמעת מקוטע פתאום, היה קשר לא טוב.
אז אני אומר שנית. אני אומר, מאוי פתוחה למי שבאמת מגיע עם בדיקת קורונה שלילית, אבל, חברות הביטוח הישראליות לא מוכנות לבטח ישראלים שטסים לארצות הברית. החלופה היא לבטח את עצמך ואת החבר'ה בחברות ביטוח אמריקאיות, שזה כנראה פחות טוב ושונה לגמרי בכיסויים, וצריך פתאום להתחיל לחפור. אני שם עוד שבועיים, אני מאוד מאוד אשמח לראות אתכם, אבל הסיפור של הביטוח הוא טריקי, הוא מסובך קצת.
והן לא מבטחות רק על קורונה, או שלא מבטחות בכלל?
לא, אתה לא מצליח, שום חברה ישראלית, שום חברת ביטוח לא תבטח אותך, נקודה. לא קשור, קורונה, ספורט, שום דבר, הן לא מוכנות בכלל לאפשר לך שום פוליסה. ואז הפוליסות היחידות שפתוחות בפניך זה פוליסות של חברות ביטוח אמריקאיות. וזה מסבך את זה.
הרגיל, ניתן לך לתפור את זה ונעשה קופי-פייסט אם זה יהיה רלוונטי.
על הכיפה.
זה עובד, זה עבד הכל עד עכשיו.
אני על זה, בסדר, אין בעיה.
אחלה. טוב, זה הפלן בי שלנו. פלן A זה שאנחנו באירופה שבוע הבא.
אבל אירופה באמת אני רואה שהיא נסגרת, אני רואה שלאט אירופה נסגרת לכל פעילות.
היא מחמירה מיום ליום.
כן. אני ראיתי מישהו שהצליח לחמוק, אתה יודע, הוא נחת במדינה אחרת פתוחה, ואז לקח אוטובוסים ונסע כדי להגיע לפורטוגל. ראיתי איזה ישראלי שהצליח להגיע לפורטוגל איכשהו.
אצלנו החשש זה לא להגיע, כי אנחנו באים יחסית עם אישורים וזה. החשש זה שסוגרים את התחרות, או סוגרים את המדינה. ואז, כאילו, זה מה שקורה כל פעם, מתקפלים לגמרי.
אבל אתה עדיין מסתכן בבידוד חזרה, זאת אומרת, לא משנה מה יקרה, הגעת למאוי, אתה עדיין היום חייב בבידוד כשאתה חוזר מארצות הברית, זה גם... כך בחשבון.
עם זה יודעים להתנגד. אחלה, המון תודה. היה מעולה.
בהצלחה, גור.
יאללה, בהצלחה.
טוב,